Hey everyone, it's Rhygar here from Rhygar Gaming. Welcome to the next episode of Learning to Play City Skylines. In this episode we're going to extend our city and add another fused grid into the city. But before I do that, I want to show you how you can use the asset editor to create your own predefined road layout so that you can just include them in the game whenever you need to, so that you don't have to keep doing them manually by hand every time. Now you could do it using the Move It mod and then just select the road layout you want and then make a copy of it. But if you don't use the Move It mod, then you can always create your own asset. So to do that, we want to go into the editors option in the main menu of City Skylines. So if you want to do it along with me, you can do this as well. So go to the editors button. We want to go to Asset Editor. Sweet, and we want to create a new asset. So just click on New. And then we want to use, so you can use which theme you want to have. So you can go through them. I think because we're just doing a road layout, it doesn't really matter. So we'll just leave it on temperate. Because my city is left-hand traffic, because I'm in New Zealand, so I will choose left-hand traffic here. But if you're North American, then you can leave that unticked. It's up to you. Sweet, and just click select and it will take us into the asset editor. Now unfortunately you can't really use any mods or anything in the asset editor to help you, so it's kind of just building roads using the default tools that you are given. So we'll just wait for that to load up. Sweet, so you can do things like create your own assets like citizens, vehicles, buildings, parks, props, trees and stuff. You really need to know what you're doing for those. I haven't done any of that, so I'm not going to bother to show you how to do that. I'm sure you can find other videos on YouTube to allow you to learn how to do other types of assets. But we do want to create our own road layout, so don't choose road because you're creating an actual road. We want to create road layouts, which in here is called an intersection, but you can use it to create any type of road layout. So click on that, click continue, and it brings us into the asset editor, so you can kind of move around like you normally do with your city. Sweet. And you can see that you've got the roads that you hear down here. So you can only have the vanilla roads that are in the game, so you can't use any of the extra roads that we added in the game. And you can also create rail networks type roads as well, and you can include the predefined intersections to create your own one as well. And in fact, Find Road Anarchy does come up to allow us to get over any problems when connecting roads or so on, but that's fine. So what we want to do is create our fused grid. So remember, we've got basically a road going all the way around the outside, and then we will create the inside part of it. So I like to use a two-way road going all the way around, and then we can upgrade it to, two lanes each way, so a 4-lane road around the outside. We can upgrade it to 6 lanes after you've placed it in the game. Alright, so there's different ones we can use. Probably something nice with trees around it would be good, so 4-lane road of decorative trees would be awesome. Alright, so we just want a straight line, so we just want to do a straight road all the way around the outside here. Oops, went too far there. So go up to there, then up to here, around this way, and go back here. So that's a 60 unit distance all the way around, which is excellent because that's exactly how much we had as our fused grid. Now I just want to, so it doesn't matter, there's no cost here when you're creating your asset. When you place it in the game, it will automatically work out what the cost actually is. So I want to go up 30 units, and then we want 2-lane road to go around that. So that just gives us our bearing, and then we can delete this. Sweet, and then we want a crossroads going around the inside. So again, it's up to you how you want to decorate or have the layout inside your fused grid here. You can do it whichever way you actually want. That is not a and then from our collector roads we start to build the inside part. So depending on how you want to do it, I'll do a road all the way across there, and then I want a road up to there, one going that way, one going that way. Sweet, and I want to go there to there. So this is the pattern that I had. I mean, you can have whatever pattern you actually want. So I'm going to do that and copy that all the way around, and then put in all my walking paths as well. So I'll speed it up for you so that you don't have to sit here watching me painstakingly do it. Alright, so there we go. We've got my finished fused grid. Now remember, I had a roundabout in the middle, but I don't want to have to create the roundabout by hand. So we'll just leave it as an intersection, four-way intersection here, and then in the game we can use the roundabout builder mod to change that, or you can just change it in the game yourself manually once you've placed it. Or you could leave it as a four-way intersection. That's entirely up to you. Okay, so we've finished our asset, so we can then plop this in the game whenever we want. Now before you go out, what you want to do is create a thumbnail and an image that you can use to refer back to inside the game. So we want to click on, just straighten that out a little bit, cool. So we want to click on this button here, which is the Asset Editor Settings button. And we want to use the snapshot tool to take a picture, use the thumb shot tool to take a thumb shot, and use the info shot tool if you want to capture screenshots to be used as tooltip images. So we want to use the snapshot tool, so just click on it and then click on your image somewhere so you can make sure it lines up nicely to exactly how you want it to be. Click once and it creates a snapshot for you, and then you also want to create a thumbnail, so go to the thumb shot tool, click once, and it creates the thumb shot for you. Alright, so now we are ready to save our asset. So if we go up to the settings button here, and then just go save asset, and then it's going to store it in the default area where it stores it. So you can see we've already got a whole bunch of our roads and things that we downloaded in the previous episode, so those are already there, and this is our new one. So let's call this fused grid. So that's going to be the asset name, and we also want to, so the asset name is different from the actual file name of your asset. So when you save it, we want to give it a file name as well, so we'll call it fused grid as well. Cool. You can put a short description in if you want, and then we can set the tooltip image. These are the default images, so we can use that as the tooltip image, and we can use that as the thumbnail. So these are the ones that we took before. Okay, so it's got the default one, and then the image that we snapshotted, and then the thumbnail that we snapshotted. So set those as that, click on save, and that will then save our asset. And now whenever we want a fused grid, we can just go to the intersections section in the game, and we can then add that in. So you can create any type of road layouts that you want in the asset editor, and then you can just plop them into the game. So let's go quit and go back to the main menu. So pause the recording, make sure you finish off your own asset if you were doing it with me, and then come back to the main menu and then come back to the recording. Alright, so let's load our game from last time. Alright, so we had, this is our fused grid here. We're going to put another fused grid on the other side just to kind of make it symmetrical. And in our game, we're also going to need to add in a few more incinerators, because we want to empty out the remaining few landfill sites that we have here. So what we'll do is we'll just pick this road here, And we'll just extend that out. And turn those all on. Sweet. So we'll do it from there. Let's just move across there. We'll add in some incinerators, just so that we can empty out those landfill sites a bit quicker while we add more things to our game. Right, let's empty this one out. Click on empty. That will start emptying. Sweet, that's working. Alright, so we want to fill up this area. We've got, what do we need? We need a bit of commercial, so we can stick some commercial in. So down here, this area here is going to probably be shops and things, so it might be good to put in some high density commercial now. Alright, so if you remember, we put in some low density commercial here because it's close to the residential areas. High density commercial will increase the amount of sound that's generated, so you don't want it right next door to residential areas. Okay, so we want high density in this area here because the sound doesn't extend out towards the residential areas over there. So let's do that. Let's do it out to there, and then we can see our high density commercial being built. So you get different types of buildings compared to the low density, and you should get kind of more taxes and more and your land value should go up. And then we can see that we're starting to get more demand for residential now. So if we look back at our population, we can see we've got unemployment of 4%, so we need to keep that unemployment up a little bit, otherwise not enough people go to work. And we also need another cemetery because we can see there's a dead body here, but our cemetery is way over here, so it takes ages for the people to get to there. In fact, this cemetery is full, which means this side doesn't have any cemeteries at all, so we need to have a new cemetery. So let's put a new one over here. We don't have access to the crematorium yet. We have to get to 17,000 people, which is a little bit annoying, but that's okay. Let's stick it here. So we'll stick one there, and we want to put one on this side over here. So what would be a good place for that? Let's put it here. That sounds pretty good. That'll make all our citizens happy. Let's put it on double speed, just to speed things up, and let's stick in some residential. Let's fill in all of this area here. Awesome. We should check our water situation. No, water is good. Excellent. So we'll just speed that up. Sweet, so our demand for residential has gone down. We need more commercial. Let's just check our unemployment situation. Still at 4%, but that's going to take a bit of time to go up because it takes time for people to move in and find jobs and so on. So we'll add a bit more commercial. Don't want to put too much straight away. And you can see our collector roads along here and our arterial road is separating the traffic quite nicely, which is good. So remember that traffic will always choose the faster roads, so that means that the people inside a quadrant will go out to one of the collector roads because it's faster than travelling around each of the collector roads. Alright, we'll need to add some more high density commercial. Alright, so that's filling up again. That should then allow us to fill up more houses. So we need more people, so that will bring that in. Now remember, we don't have any public transport over here, so at the moment everyone needs to use the road system. So at the moment, anyone in here that wants to get to the other part of the city, we have to go onto the highway, go all the way around, and get through there. But look, we have a nice road here that we can connect up to, right? That would be kind of cool. But let's use a nice road rather than this bland road here. So let's use... so I want to use a collector road. Could make it arterial. No, we'll just use a collector road. I think that'll be fine. In fact, no, let's use an arterial road. So we'll use a 6-lane road with trees. We can update this. There's no right or wrong way to know what type of road to use. So that's okay. Let's bring this out to here. Awesome. Now we want to get over the bridge. Get over here. So you'll see that it automatically puts in a bridge for us, which is excellent. Awesome. And then we just want to connect up to this road here. So let's use the curve tool. Curve it around. Awesome. That looks excellent. Sweet. And you'll see people start to use that road already. As soon as we put it in, you can see they're all starting to use that road already, which is excellent news. And then down here we want to use the traffic manager mod just to fix things up. So stick the traffic manager mod on. So we want to fix up the lane arrows. Remember, we go control click and it sets up dedicated turning lanes for all our arrows, which is excellent. And we just want to set up the give way symbols. So yeah, I think that's fine. So people going this way have right of way, and then people going this way have to give way, which is excellent. If it gets too much traffic here, we can always turn that into a little roundabout as well. So that will be fine. Excellent. So it's always good to have lots of different ways of getting to areas because cars will make use of it. Look at how many cars are using this arterial road now, right? So that means that they don't have to use the highway, which is really excellent. Sweet, so you can see that we've filled up all the residential area in here. I've left this area here empty because later on we're going to put some offices in there so that we can build up our office space. Now for offices, so you'll see that over here, the office space. Initially, when I was playing the game the first time, I always thought that commercial was for offices as well. Office buildings takes care of commercial demand, but in fact I was mistaken. Office buildings take care of industrial demand because they're providing a service to the city. They're not selling stuff, so that's counted as industrial. So you can only put offices in once you have some industrial demand, and we don't have any industrial demand at this stage because we've got lots and lots of industry currently already being used. Oh, what's going down here? We need some water. Okay, let me put some water in there. Sweet. Alright, so let's stick in our next fuse grid so that we are ready to put in the next part of our fuse grid system. So if we go to, so remember we created our asset, right? So if we go to our road network and then go into here, and you can see we've got our fuse grid system here. Cool, and you can right click to rotate it, like so, right, to get it exactly how you want. So in fact, I probably want to have some roads coming out of here, and then we can connect up to that, so that would be a good thing to do, because at the moment I can't make this go into here because there's already existing roads. I could delete all these roads, but let's extend the area out here, so that will give us some more commercial space. So let's grab our picker mod. Sweet, and how big is that? That is 1200 across. Up to there. Sweet, and then we're going to take our fuse grid and connect it up to these roads here. take a fuse grid, and you can see it snaps into place, which is excellent. Just click once. So this is going to cost us $44,800. Alright, so you can see it's quite a lot of money there. So stick that in, and it puts in our fuse grid. We don't have to create it manually, and it's all set up, ready for us to use that fuse grid whenever we want. So that's one of the benefits of using the asset editor. Excellent, and then I just need to go through and do all the traffic manager stuff, so I'll speed that up for you while I do that. Alright, so I've finished all the traffic manager stuff for our fuse grid. We need to create a little roundabout down there, so let's use our roundabout builder. Where did it go? There it is. So we want to use, which road did I use? I used a 2-lane road. Yep, 2-lane, one way. Sweet, and was about that length there, and then we use traffic manager to set that up. So just go Control Shift click, and it sets up. Let's close that first. Traffic manager, Control Shift click, and that sets that up for us. Excellent. Awesome. So our next fuse grid is ready to go, and we can start to add people into that. So why don't we do that, and that will hopefully get our industrial demand up. You can see it's starting to come up a little bit, which is excellent. So let's put in some housing. So let's put it all the way across there, and we'll need to put in our pipes as well. Cool, and we need the electricity to hop across, so I wonder if we can get that going by... Oh, let's just use some... So we'll just use some power poles, and we'll remove that later on once we've filled up this area in here as well. Sweet. Yay! We've just hit small city. Awesome. So I've been waiting for this, so that will allow us to build train stations and cargo train terminals. So we'll be able to do that in the next episode. We can also build a hydropower plant, but we only have a river, and there's not much difference in height of the river, so it won't be a really good area for building a hydropower plant. So we'll probably do one of those in a later episode on a different map. Excellent, and we can start to build trains and create a train network as well. Excellent, so that's good. Alright, I forgot to put in some parks and things to allow our buildings to increase in value. So if we click on one, remember we added the extended building info mod, which gives us all of this. So we can see that parks is extremely low, and also fire, police, all of that kind of stuff is a little bit low as well. So let's put in some parks, and that will really start to make these houses increase. So go to our park section. So I like to put parks in kind of the corners of in each of the quadrants. And that will cover everything in there. So I always like to use small ones because I don't want anything too big to take up too much room. But it's up to you, depending on how you've done it in your one. That's completely up to you. So let's put a carousel. Japanese garden. Stick that there. And what else have we got? Dog park, yep, that's a good one. Let's stick that there. And then small playground, yep, small playground is good. Let's put that here. Sweet, so you can see it pretty much lights up all of that area in blue, which is really good. Cool, and then we just need to put some over here. So we probably want to put a little bit in the middle here, just for these buildings in here. So for that one, we can use plazas, because that makes more sense in kind of a shopping area. So we've got the Paradox Plaza. So let's actually whack that next to the high school here. So by putting that there, that'll make all these buildings hopefully start to go blue. Excellent. And maybe we could have some tennis courts and basketball courts around here as well, so we can do that. So yeah, we can fit a basketball court in quite nicely here. So let's put one there, and then we can put a tennis court maybe on this side. Excellent. And then we might as well put some parks in over here, because we're going to need them eventually anyway. So we're going to put one there. Stick one there. What's that one? A tropical garden. How big's that? Oh, that's not too bad. We can fit one of these in. And let's go for the dog park again. That'll make all of them happy. Excellent. So we'll just double check our fire and health coverage. So health is good. So that's death care, because the death care tab is selected. So let's go to health care. Ooh, no health care. That's not good. Hospital costs $65,000. It will take all of that area, won't it? Actually, no, I'm going to use the smaller medical clinics, because that way you'll have more vehicles going around and there's less distance for them to actually go. So where would be a good place for the medical centre? Maybe on this side here. Stick one there. And we probably only need two, one on each side. So let's stick that there. And that should cover all of that. Excellent. Yep, so it's all green. Excellent, so that's good. Child care. So we want to put in a birthing centre, child health centre. So we could maybe put that in this area in here. Let's whack it there, and hopefully the power will skip across. Cool, so that's a big area, right? It's got a big area of effect, so that'll take care of all of that. And then the last thing is the elder care. So we want to put an elder care facility, so that takes care of our older generation people. So maybe we'll put that down the other end, because they don't really want to be next door to crying babies and things. Or we could put it down here by the water's edge. That might be a good idea. So let's do that. Gives them a nice view. We don't have any elder care or childcare centres out here, so we could probably put some of those in down this end as well. So let's put one over here. And child healthcare centre, let's stick that. Right there. That looks good. And we should put one in of each in our suburbs out here as well. So we can put one there. And let's choose an elder care facility. We can stick it over here. Excellent. So by putting those in, it's going to increase the average health for child and for elderly citizens as well. So at the moment it's not so good, but that's going to increase as time goes on. Alright, so we started to get a little bit of demand for industrial, so let's see if we can put in some offices. So we're going to put in some offices here. So you can put it close to residential because offices don't create as much noise. So we're going to put some offices around here, so that way the people that live around here could maybe work in these particular offices as well. There we go. So let's speed that up and see what kind of offices we get. Alright, so you can see we're kind of getting some nice looking office buildings because I've set the theme for this district to be the international theme. If you have the European theme, you get different style office buildings, which I don't particularly like, but it's just a matter of preference. And you can see all the houses are actually really pinging, they're getting leveled up because of all these new services and job opportunities that we're giving to our people. So before we finish, let's just go through and check all of the different things in our city. So power, still pretty good. It's getting close to meeting production, so that's not bad. Garbage processing use is not a problem. We can process 387,000 units. We're only producing 172,000, so that's fine. Happiness is actually really good. That's cool. Traffic situation 94%, which is excellent, so hardly any major traffic problems. This one is quite red, but it just means there's quite a lot of flow, which is excellent. One of our landfill sites is finished, so we can delete that now. So grab our bulldozer, bulldoze that, and then we can tell the next one to start emptying. So we'll empty that one. Excellent. Sound. So sound is pretty good. So you can see with the high density commercial, it produces quite a bit of sound, but the other low density commercial buffers that sound from our residential area, and you can see the office buildings actually don't produce any sound at all, which is excellent. So that's really good. Alright, crime stats are pretty good. There's no major problems or anything. Whoops, got some water problems over there. We're not producing enough water. Okay, so we need another water pumping station, so let's add that in. Cool, so that increases that, and we need a sewer outlet as well. And I think we've run into power problems as well. No, that should be fine. What's going on there? Oh, they're not connected anymore. That's probably why the sewer thing is really bad. Alright, so that should make our sewerage really good. Excellent, cool. So that's good. Check our population, so 3% unemployment, so that's okay. Check our education, so we've got elementary schools in all these areas. Oh, we probably want an elementary school over here now, right? So let's stick in an elementary school. Quite like that one, so we'll choose that one. Let's stick that over there. Awesome. What about high schools? Plenty of capacity, so we don't need another high school. All the people in here can go to this high school here. That's fine. We'll have to set up some public transport and stuff soon. University. Remember, we've got a university out here that hasn't reached capacity yet, so that's not a problem. So that's cool. And public libraries. Again, I explained I don't use public libraries because I don't seem to do that much, but it's up to you if you want to use a public library or not. And there's another landfill site that we can get rid of. So delete that. Sweet, alright, well that's it for this particular episode. So we've got our second fuse grid added in, and we can fill in all the inside parts with offices and high density commercial, whatever other things that we actually want. Alright, so that's the fuse grid system, so hopefully it might give you some ideas as to what you can do. Maybe you want to incorporate a fuse grid in your particular city layouts as well. Just an idea. It's up to you how you do the road layouts inside the fuse grid. Just go wild and think up really cool ways of doing things. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, you're welcome to give me a thumbs down. If you like my content, please subscribe, as it just helps for my content to be noticed by the YouTube algorithm. And hopefully I will catch you in the next episode.